नमस्ते दोस्तों, आपका हमारे YouTube चैनल में स्वागत है। और आज हमारे साथ बहुत ही खास मेहमान मौजूद है, वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल के सीईओ सोम सुंदरम पीआर जी। और ये वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल के एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रोजेक्ट एसआरओ उसको भी लीड कर रहे हैं। इन सब के बारे में इनसे बात करेंगे। सर, सबसे पहले तो आपका स्वागत है हमारे चैनल में। तो सर, अगर हम बात करें सोने की, तो पिछला जो मार्च है, मार्च में काफी तेजी आ गई है। आप कैसे देख रहे हैं इसको?
Uh, you see, the prices will be volatile this year, but with an upward bias. Matlab, so it will keep going up. I don't think there is a serious risk of a permanent drop, but there will be volatility up and down. Thoda rahega. All the factors that support price are very strong. There is a US election as well. Rate cuts also, while the Fed has already said they will do it. We don't know the timing. How much of it is factored is also not known. So we will see all these factors are supportive of gold, and central banks continue to keep buying gold. Of course, there is one thing we need to understand, that ETF still continues to have outflows because of the high interest rates, but that is barring that. If you see all the other trends, they are looking very positive for gold. So my thing is that gold price will keep going a little strong, but there will be volatility.
जी सर, जैसे आपने बात करी सेंट्रल बैंक्स की, तो कल ही मैं रिपोर्ट देख रहा था कि फेब में जो है चाइना ने भी खरीद करी, आरबीआई ने भी खरीद करी है। जो वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल के चीफ एनालिस्ट हैं जॉन आर्टिगस, उन्होंने भी कल एक ट्विटर और लिंक्डइन पे रिपोर्ट डाली थी कि चाइना ने खरीद करी है। सेंट्रल बैंक्स ने और आरबीआई ने भी करी है। तो ये क्या इस साल भी कंटिन्यू रहने वाला है जैसे लास्ट 2 इयर्स से?
The last 2 years were about 1,000 tons. So we have already said, while they will continue to buy, no one can say they will buy up to 1,000 tons. It will be a bit difficult to predict that kind of volumes, but it might end up with 1,000 tons. We don't know, because gold is now becoming an extremely important asset class for the monetary authorities. Probably a good diversifier at these prices and the way the stock markets are looking. And the geopolitical complexities also give gold a certain neutrality, which is so important in the current thing. So it could be a huge purchase, but whether it will be 1,000 or not, we have already said it will be too difficult to predict at this point in time.
एक चीज और मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा सर, चूंकि प्राइस बढ़े हुए हैं, तो इस साल डिमांड कैसी देख रहे हैं? क्योंकि फेड का जो रेट कट का स्टांस है, जो मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट है, वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि इस साल होना ही है। कितना होगा इस पे जरूर डिबेट है कि 0.5 होगा या 0.75 होगा या 2 बार होगा या 4 बार होगा। तो उसकी वजह से जो प्राइजेस है वो शायद हाई रह सकते हैं। जो आपका क्या मानना है उस पे भी मैं जानना चाहूंगा। तो ये क्या डिमांड को इम्पैक्ट कर सकता है इस साल?
My view is India will see a very significant jump in demand. Whether it will happen in 2024 or 2025, it's a little difficult to predict. We can't predict the exact time. But from all the things I have seen, gold demand is very, very strong. Interest in gold is very strong, both strong, I think. So, at what point of time this translates into real buying is to be seen. Two things are important. One is gold itself is doing well. Second, the economy is doing well. We have seen in the past, and I keep repeating this in all my sessions, gold demand is influenced by income growth more than any other factor. Because our per capita is still very low, we still have large number of people coming from the bottom of the pyramid to the middle class. Their first asset class is gold. So as the economy performs well, we are going to see demand grow in India. Now, all the gold need not be imported. That doesn't mean immediately, because we may also do some work on the recycling market. That's why I'm very positive about two things. One is there's going to be a big jump in demand because of our income growing. Second, we will also, in my opinion, I think the recycling market in India will become a lot more robust.
तो सर अगर जैसे हम बात करें गोल्ड में चूंकि इंडिया में टैक्सेस जो होते हैं चाहे ड्यूटी हो वो भी काफी हाई है और गवर्नमेंट जो है अभी नहीं आएगी चूंकि अभी इंतरिम बजट था और जो अभी फाइनल बजट है वो नई सरकार के आने के बाद आएगा तो आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या टैक्सेस कुछ ज्यादा है उनको कम होना चाहिए ड्यूटी को गोल्ड पे क्योंकि वो एक और चैनल खोल देता है जो स्मगलिंग वाला है या जो जिसकी सोर्सिंग सही नहीं होती गोल्ड की वो आना शुरू हो जाता है आपका क्या मानना है इसके ऊपर
But I have said this in many places, 18.5% is the tax we pay on gold totally. Customs duty plus GST. That's very, very high. That is giving a lot of fillip to smuggling. But at the same time, I've also said we must understand who sells this grey market gold, smuggled gold. It's not separately sold, it's also sold through the jewelers. So the industry also has to take some steps to control it. But having said that, I think it is important given our natural borders from where gold can flow in easily, the love for gold, and as I told you, the high demand because of income, people just coming to the middle class wanting gold. They shouldn't be made to pay 18.5%. When a high net worth individual can actually buy any imported product, can transfer money out of India, invest abroad, etc. Whereas a person who has really come up from the bottom of the pyramid pays 18.5 tax. So there are many, many factors like that. Therefore, it is important for us to look at what is the reasonable amount of duty. 18.5 is too high. We should definitely get it down. And it should be supported, as I said, by the industry itself, avoiding any grey market inflows, and by also in we should ensure that exports increase.
जी सर आप जैसे कह रहे हैं इनकम बढ़ेगी और इस साल इंडिया में अभी इलेक्शन ईयर है और एमपी में हमने अभी देखा है कि सीएम ने अनाउंस किया है कि जो गेहूं है उसके ऊपर उनको बोनस दिया जाएगा किसानों को तो हो सकता है अलग अलग स्टेट में उस तरह से हो तो इनकम बढ़ेगी तो जैसे आप कह रहे हैं चूंकि रूरल गोल्ड की खरीद में एक रूरल का बहुत बड़ा हाथ रहता है रूरल इंडिया का तो वो जो डिमांड है शायद उस तरह से इनकम फ्लो होने की वजह से भी बढ़े ऐसा हो सकता है वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल है उनका जो वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट मैं कह सकता हूँ कि जो प्रोजेक्ट है या जिस पे आप काम कर रहे हैं एसआरओ उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए कि ये क्या है और इसकी क्या तैयारी हो रही है क्योंकि ऐसा माना जा रहा है कि इस साल से आप इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर देंगे और इसका और स्वर्ण आदर्श अभियान जो आपने चलाया था उसका क्या रिलेशन है थोड़ा सा वो हमारे दर्शकों को समझाइए
Sure. Swarna Adarsh Abhiyan is actually the program. Program का नाम है Swarna Adarsh Abhiyan. Means all the good conduct and things like that. That is now going to be handled by the self-regulatory organization SRO. SRO, okay. SRO, we have formed the SRO. We have got to the brand agency. We will have a proper brand for the gold industry itself. It is a common platform for all jewelers, all refiners, all hallmarking agencies, everybody in the supply chain. What is this SRO going to do? It is a not-for-profit organization. We will support it in the first few years, but over a period of time, it should become owned by the industry and be run by the industry in its own way. Now, this organization will develop best practices. So, lots of good practices are there. They will make sure that these are codified and widely publicized. Therefore, everybody can follow. They will also, over a period of time, not immediately, they will say, those who say, I will follow all the good code of conduct, we will probably the SRO will offer them this brand to be used. So a mark ki tarah. So if you use that Swarna Adarsh Abhiyan stamp, SRO stamp in your shop, everybody will know that you are a follower of best practices in the world. Okay? So that is the whole idea of SRO. Giving consumers, policymakers, everybody a trust. This mark means good practices are followed. You don't have to worry. So that way, anybody who has got this mark from the SRO will look for somebody else who has got this mark. So it is not dependent on size. So that way you will have lot of people developing these good practices. Now it will take a few years. We are aware of it. Initially, we want to do a lot of awareness campaigns. Why it is good to do this, all that stuff. We are going to support this initiative, and this initiative का नाम है स्वर्ण आदर्श अभियान. वो code of conduct is सब है. But the SRO will be an independent company, independent of World Gold Council, independent of everybody. It will represent the whole gold industry. इसका independent directors भी हो जाए, advisory board भी होगा.
बात करें तो कौन इसका हिस्सा बन सकता है कि ज्वेलर्स बनेंगे या हॉलमार्किंग सेंटर बनेंगे या रिफाइनर्स बनेंगे या एसोसिएशन बनेंगे, मतलब कैसे कौन आपसे इस जो आप एसआरओ बना रहे कौन जुड़ सकते हैं और कैसे जुड़ सकते हैं, और अगर मैं जुड़ा एज ए ज्वेलर तो मुझे क्या फायदा, मतलब वो भी थोड़ा आप हमें समझाइए.
Yes. You see, when you adopt this code of conduct with the SRO, you sign an agreement with the SRO saying, I will follow these practices. The SRO will give you the symbol. Okay. Now, what happens is when I'm a consumer from any part of the world, because I'm going to be advertising. SRO will advertise to the consumers to look for this symbol, so that they know it is, the best practices coming. So the consumers will walk to such stores. It is a common brand for all the good practices followers. Today, this industry does not have a strong brand. Okay? There are a few good brands, but it's not we are developing actually a uniform brand where any consumer which sees this logo will know, yeah, now I don't have to worry. I can go and buy. Because these practices are standard. These practices, I know when to buy, how to recycle. Everything is good practice. And these good practices are also publicized by the SRO. So the SRO will develop these practices and tell the consumer through advertising, look for people who follow these practices. Therefore, consumers will walk to your shop. Consumers will want to use your hallmarking center because they know there is an independent SRO which says you are following these good practices. हम लोग का regulated business नहीं है. So what we are saying is let us self-regulate. And even policymakers will look at it and say, okay, you got this, so which means you are following these practices. And these practices will be audited also. It is not like you can say, I am following good practice with the employees, with labor, etc. You will have to be audited. Okay, that way, therefore, there is a certification of your best practices also.
आपको सर 10 साल हो गए हैं वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल में, 2013 में आपने ज्वाइन किया था और अभी आप मैं रिटायर शब्द यूज नहीं करना चाह रहा हूँ. तो आपकी जर्नी कैसी रही सर, थोड़ा सा वो हमें बताइए, और आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस क्या रहे, क्योंकि वो भी हमारे दर्शकों को बताइए थोड़ा सा.
Sure. I came into this industry. I was not a jeweler. I did not know much about gold. I was from banks. And before banking, 10 years or 12 years, I was working for Unilever, FMCG. When I came here, I was not sure what I am going to contribute. So, 10 साल में summary is this: lot of friends, wonderful industry, so much knowledge, but no synergy. इसलिए मैं SRO I'm talking about it. But extremely good entrepreneurial skills and huge potential for this industry, which in my opinion is not getting tapped because we are not behaving like proper corporate houses. We are very focused internally. We are also focused on taxes rather than on the better sides of gold industry. So, but overall, it has been wonderful experience for me. I think people have supported in the last 10 years. I've seen all the associations come together on one platform and many, many issues, not just on tax cuts alone, whether it be gold policy or it be the India Gold Policy Center or it be the Assay Training Institute or it be the exchange, electronic gold receipt, BDR, bullion depository receipt in Gift City, hallmarking, mandatory hallmarking, good delivery, um, demonetization. I've seen so many things that, and the industry I have seen change with my own eyes. I mean, the last 10 years, the change in the industry is tremendous. So it makes me feel very good. There is still a lot of work to be done. I'm sure there are people in World Book Council, in the associations who will do much better work in the next 10 years. But very, very happy to have entered this industry and built these relationships.
जी सर, हम आपको आगे की जर्नी के लिए शुभकामनाएँ देंगे और आज आपने इतना समय निकाला हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए, उसके लिए आपका धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सो मच सर।